Fans had one question after Caitlin Clark startled the WNBA with a farewell statement that reads more like a farewell than a word of support. Did she just announce that she will be permanently leaving the league? Caitlin Clark wasn't just another rookie when she first took the court in the WNBA. She was a sensation. She smashed records in the manner that most athletes do, draining three-pointers from beyond the arc, dishing out assists, and catapulting the Indiana Fever into the public eye virtually overnight. Her performances were sold-out affairs. Almost all of the league's veterans bought her jerseys, and even casual fans watched to see what she would do next. She finished her debut season with several records, Rookie of the Year, and even an ESPY for Best WNBA Player. Caitlin wasn't just a star. She represented the future for a league that was yearning to expand. However, fissures began to appear as the pressure to bear that future increased. And soon, the unstoppable rise will encounter unexpected difficulties. Unlike other athletes, Caitlin didn't vanish into the off-season following that spectacular rookie run. She returned a different person, stronger, sharper, and more ravenous. Videos of her working out and bulking up in ways that fans had never seen before began to circulate online. "Nobody's going to push her around anymore," said analysts, as her shoulders appeared wider and her body more robust.
It was more than a post-workout boost. It was a complete change.
A declaration that she intended to own the WNBA's physicality rather than merely endure it. Her body wasn't the only thing that changed. She also tightened her game. Practice-related reports portrayed a player who is fixated on efficiency, smoother footwork, faster releases, and more astute defensive readings. She no longer relied solely on her three-point shooting ability. She was expanding her armory of weaponry. Colleagues quietly acknowledged that they had never witnessed someone so committed and motivated to silence detractors before the start of the following season.
It was well received by fans.
Videos of Caitlin's metamorphosis went viral, and newspapers referred to it as the WNBA's off-season shock. All of a sudden, she was superior to the rookie league star. She was becoming its main force. This season was meant to be the Fever's pivotal one, the one in which all of the excitement ultimately turned into postseason momentum. However, while Caitlin was busy transforming herself into an invincible force, other forces were also growing. Because the upcoming season would present challenges that no amount of training could prepare her for, just when it seemed like she was poised to take control of year two. However, the WNBA has a way of reminding even its top players that life is not always simple. Caitlin Clark learned that lesson very quickly. The losses began to pile up early in her second season, just as supporters were hoping she would blow up with her newfound strength and self-assurance. Fans first questioned why the league's most marketable player was sitting for extended periods of time when games were at stake due to his persistent bench stints. After that, she suffered injuries, missed tournaments due to a groin problem, was shaken on the court by hard fouls, and there were rumors that the officials weren't giving her the protection a celebrity deserves. Nothing could have happened at a worse time. As the WNBA spokesperson, the league had elevated her, and now her every setback was blown out of proportion. While whistles frequently remained mute, commentators started pointing out how she was physically targeted in almost every game, being elbowed, shoved, and hacked. The fans witnessed how the opposing teams treated her like a target. Videos of Caitlin suffering severe injuries went viral, igniting discussions about whether the league was purposefully allowing its new star to suffer injuries. Then came the heartache of losing the WNBA's one opportunity to highlight her as the focal point of its future, the All-Star Showcase. Rather, she was marginalized, observing from the background as her competitors enjoyed the limelight. Fans thought the league's golden child was losing her brilliance before she had a chance to fully embrace it. Caitlin's irritation was evident. Although she still displayed moments of genius, game-changing runs, and pull-up threes from deep crucial assistance, the flow was off. The story was beginning to sound more like survival than the unstoppable phenomenon that she would be in the following chapter. Furthermore, Caitlin Clark didn't join the WNBA to survive. But the storm was only getting started. Because although the injuries were painful for her body, the true harm was going to be done to her reputation both within the locker room and throughout the league. Another conflict was subtly developing off the court, in the locker room and throughout the league, as the physical altercations wore her down. In addition to making Caitlin Clark a national celebrity, the same attention also made her a target, and not just from rivals. Tension among teammates began to be reported. There were rumors that some players didn't like how Caitlin seemed to be the center of attention, while seasoned players with years of expertise were ignored. Her quick ascent was oppressive to some, not motivating. Then the rivalry started. None more so than the ferocious altercations with Angel Reese, in which each foul, each confrontation, and each collision became a news story. The press adored it. Fans were enamored with it. Behind the scenes, however, it further strengthened the feeling that Caitlin was being shut out, confined as the outsider who had to contend with not just rivals, but also the league's ethos. The WNBA was even criticized by some fans of shielding their elite while allowing Caitlin to bear the consequences, both literally and figuratively. Reese wasn't the only one. Every time Clark touched the ball, other players appeared to get more aggressive because they were fed up with the constant media attention she was receiving. Verbal insults, elbows to the ribs, and hard screens. All of it fueled the flames. Furthermore, although Caitlin maintained her poise in public, insiders claimed that the strain was wearing her down behind the scenes. When officiating itself turned into a lightning rod, the drama intensified. Referees were criticized by fans for their carelessness and for allowing too much to go unpunished. Every contentious no-call seemed like a betrayal, and more indication that the league would not defend the player it was using to sell broadcast deals and tickets. Caitlin's journey suddenly didn't seem like the tale of a hero being crowned. It appeared to be the tale of a star being put to the test, possibly even punished for being too large, too quick, and too young. And as tensions boiled in the locker room, supporters started posing a terrifying query. How long would she stay here if she wasn't really welcome? However, the note she left might have already contained the answer. Fans are currently analyzing the statement as if it were a puzzle piece for her future. Then it took place. The entire basketball community was on edge when Caitlin Clark delivered a parting message amidst the confusion. Following her season-ending injury, Sophie Cunningham received just 4 words. "I will always love you, Soph." At first glance, it appeared to be a straightforward message of encouragement, similar to what a buddy or teammate might say. Fans, however, didn't think so. It had a different meaning for them, perhaps serving as a farewell or a sign that Caitlin was prepared to leave. It was impossible to ignore due to the timing. The message didn't feel encouraging after weeks of rivalries, injuries, and growing annoyance. It seemed definitive. Speculation erupted on social media. Was Caitlin bidding a teammate farewell? Or was she implying that she would be leaving the WNBA? Commenters referred to it as cryptic. Every word was analyzed by fans. Insiders also subtly acknowledged that it sounded more than comforting. The problem is that Caitlin didn't elaborate. There was silence, no news conference, no lengthy post, and no explanation. Additionally, there are instances when silence is more powerful than words. It is clear what to do if Caitlin Clark's note seemed like a farewell. What comes next? After the brutal treatment she received on the court, some fans think she might be getting ready to leave the WNBA entirely. Others highlight her increasing visibility outside of the league. Caitlin has previously made references to her larger goals, discussing sports media positions with figures like David Letterman, and even making a joke about becoming a general manager of a team someday. Then there is her charity, which focuses on children's access to sports, education, and nutrition. That work is growing quickly, and many people think it might become her real legacy off the court, providing her with a platform that extends well beyond basketball. It's evident that Caitlin doesn't require the WNBA to be relevant when you consider her record-breaking influence, broadcast ratings, sponsorships, and merchandising. In fact, it's possible that the WNBA needs her more than she needs it. However, this is when the rumors start to circulate. According to reports, Caitlin's close friends and family think she may be thinking about pursuing full-time media work or chances abroad, where celebrities are frequently treated with greater respect. Although nothing is official, there is no denying the buzz. Fans are constantly wondering if she is ending this chapter or simply beginning a new, larger one. It was expected that Caitlin Clark would ascend to the top, rule the league, and usher in a new era of WNBA glory. And for a while, it appeared that she was doing just that. However, that wonderful tale turned into something heavier and darker as a result of the injuries, the constant targeting, the tension in the locker room, and the official silence. And finally, a brief message: I will always love you. Fans are forced to speculate as to whether it was a farewell to the league as a whole rather than just a teammate. In actuality, no one is certain. Perhaps Caitlin proves the skeptics wrong by returning stronger than before. Perhaps she turns her attention to her foundation, the media, or even chances abroad where she may play freely without having to worry about scandal all the time. Perhaps, just possibly, this was her way of letting everyone know that her time in the WNBA had already come to an end. The league will never be the same, that much is clear. Caitlin Clark did more than simply alter the rules. She completely altered the discourse surrounding women's basketball when she took the court. She has made one thing plain: regardless of whether this was her final message to the WNBA or the beginning of her new chapter, nothing will ever return to how it was before to her arrival.